Okay, question 3c continued. Each day there are a number of non-stop flights that Heather could use. So we've got two tables here. Okay, so if we look at the table, we can see that it tells you the company. So this is East Plane. It departs from London at 7 o'clock in the morning, and this is local time, so that's what time it is in London. And it arrives in Moscow at 14:50, so that's the time in Moscow when it arrives, not the time in London. And this is the flight code. We've also got a key that uses a +1. It says refers to flights arriving on the following day. So if we look at this flight, it leaves London at 21:40 and it arrives Moscow the next morning at 05:30. Okay, let's look at the questions now. The airline operates each flight as a two-way journey. Each aeroplane starts off at its home airport and returns to the same airport. Can you tell whether a home airport for East Plane flights is in London or Moscow? You must explain your answer. Okay, so, and I'm not 100% sure about this because I can't find the mark scheme. I think that the home airport is in London, and I think the reason for that is if you look at the times, the earliest time is when it leaves London, and then it arrives at Moscow, departs Moscow, and arrives back at London at the latest time. So if it's left at the earliest time and arrived back at the latest time, that tells me that London is its home airport. So that's what I'm going to put down for that one. Oops. The home airport for East Plane flights is London. This is because it leaves London at the earliest time and arrives back at the latest time. Okay, part D. The time in Russia during November is 4 hours ahead of the UK, so you add 4 when you get to Russia. Calculate how long the flight from London to Moscow on the Aerofly flight AF112. So work out the length of that flight. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going from London to Moscow and we're going on the AF112. So we're going on this flight. Okay. Right then. Well, we leave London at 22:40, and that's London time. And we arrive in Moscow at 06:25 Moscow time. However, that's 4 hours ahead of the UK time, so actually in the UK time it'd be 02:25 London time. So now we can work out the length of the flight. So the length of the flight then, 22:40. We'll take 20 minutes to get to 2300 hours. It'll be 1 hour to get to midnight, and then 2 hours and 25 minutes to get to 0:20:25. So adding that all up, we can see that it's 3 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, last part now. Explain how it appears that the UK air flight UA 734 arrives in London at the same as it sets off in Moscow. Okay, so look at the flight first of all. So we're looking at the flight UA 734. So we're looking at this flight, and we can see that it looks like it departs Moscow and arrives at London at the same time. But of course that's because of the time difference. And Moscow is 4 hours ahead, so if the flight is 4 hours long, it will arrive in London time at the same time. There's a lot of times there, isn't there? Okay. So how are we going to write this? If the flight is 4 hours long, then because Moscow is 4 hours in front of London, it will appear to set off and arrive at the same time.